And we're back for another episode. I took a day off to level crafting, so I went through all my different professions, and I got pretty much every profession you can see to level 15 for Disciples of the Hand. I am going to make another video to go into detail about what I learned, any new tips and tricks, but that's for the next video. For this video I'm going to be carrying on the story. So in the previous story video we had just defeated Titan, so now we are back with Y'shtola, so let's see what happens next. Okay, so I'm just getting my reward. So Y'shtola is keen to discuss your next task. So now we need to speak to Rahasht Ricky. I really do struggle with these names sometimes, so we need to go straight back to Limsa, and then we need to go to the Maelstrom. So one general piece of advice I'd like to give in this episode is the advantage of leveling all classes at once. So I've now done it twice. So I did it for all of the Disciples of War and Magic, getting everything to level 15, and now I've done it for all of the Disciples of Hand. One of the immediate advantages of it is that it means I no longer need to carry any gear which is less than level 15 for any of those classes. The only ones I have to do for right now is Disciples of the Land, so the obvious advantage of that is saving bag space. Another advantage as well, something I've noticed, is that when you actually complete all the various different class quests, whether it's for Disciples of Hand or Magic or War or whatever, then between all of the classes you will get full armor set rewards. So you might only be able to pick one piece at a time, maybe one headpiece or one glove, but because you do so many of them on so many different classes, you will get every single piece available to you, which means you don't have to buy them, you don't have to craft them, you don't have to do anything, which is again a very big advantage. So you can save a lot of money on gear. Now something I did notice about the Disciples of War especially is that you really learn after you've done it the first couple of times the best way to experience and level up and so on. So the first time I tried to get one of the classes to level 15, it took a while. Let's say it took like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 hours, but then by the time I was doing it on my last class, like I think maybe Arcanist or Thaumaturge or something, then I was able to do the whole thing in like 2 hours. So you just learn exactly which monsters to kill and how to do it, and it just goes by a lot quicker when you've done it so many times. Now one thing to take advantage of, whether you're doing Disciples of War, Magic or Hand, is always to look at the logs, because when you complete an entry in the log, so for example, if I kill these 5 floating eyes, there's always a bonus reward, and that also does apply to the professions. So if I open up the crafting log, the very first time you make each one of these items, you get a bonus reward, and that is what is denoted by these little ticks next to each one. So because I had leveled all of them now, all of 8 of these Disciples of the Hand, I learned that the amount of bonus experience is worth it, because it helped me fly to level 15, and I've done that pretty much on all of the professions. So it is really a good way to experience. One thing I would say though is for the professions I did use a lot of my allowances. So I don't know, last time you might have seen I had more than 90 allowances, and I burned through about 60 of them, getting every single profession to 15. Now I believe that is probably the better way of using it, rather than using them on Disciples of War of Magic, because with the Disciples of War of Magic you always have fates, you always have dungeons and stuff like that, which is definitely not available to Disciples of the Hand and Land. So I'd highly recommend that you leave all of your guild leave allowances to the profession classes, because also with your fighting classes you also have guild hests as well, so that you have a lot more options on your Disciples of War of Magic compared to your Disciples of Hand and Land. So I would really recommend you do that, and it really did help a lot, because they offer generous rewards, and there is no limit on how many you can do. You can just keep doing them. One advantage which is also present for the Disciples of Hand, which is not available to Disciples of War when it comes to guild leaves, is that if you craft a high quality item that they want. So for example, let's say they say to you, oh, we want you to make us some maple lumber, okay, and they just want 3 of those. If you hand in 3 high quality ones, then you will actually get triple the reward for it. So let's say giving in the normal maple lumbers would have given you, say, 2,000 experience points. If you hand in high quality ones, you will get the 2,000 plus double as bonus reward, which means you'll get 200 plus 2,000 plus 4,000, which means actually 6,000, which is a huge amount of experience points to get at any level when you triple the value. So if you are lucky enough to high quality the item, then there's a lot of rewards to get. And when I create the other video talking more in detail about the professions of what I've learned, then I will show you the best way to help get high quality crafts, because I did notice getting things to level 15 that I would get high quality items quite a lot. So I will show you how to do that. So we're almost here now, we're almost at the Maelstrom. So one thing I've also started doing with my Let's Play series is I've started adding captions. So far I've only been able to add captions to the Titan video, because I have to do them one at a time. But it is my intention to add it to all of them, so if there's any audio issues, or if you happen to be someone who is watching the game and you don't speak English, then I hope you can at least enjoy the video with YouTube automatically translating the subtitles. So anyway, we're now back at Rashat Riki in the Maelstrom command center in Limsa Lominsa, so let's continue. So they're congratulating me on a job well done, so thank you very much. Getting a call from Minfilia. So, Mithrie, this is Minfilia. Your Stola has informed me of your success. You have won a great victory for the people of Eorzea, one that shall not be forgotten. And what is more, both you and your Stola emerged from O Gamora unscathed. Why, Tertaru and the others seemed as glad of that as they did of Titan's fall. You can look forward to a hero's welcome. We'll be waiting your return at the Waking Sands. There is much to discuss. Godspeed. Okay, so now we need to go straight back to the Waking Sands in Vesper Bay, so let's go. Now, as you can see, my gil has dropped from 100,000 down to 77 because I did spend money on my professions. But if I'm honest with you, I actually overall have made quite a huge profit, because I've now got 2 retainers absolutely jam-packed with items which I can use to craft whatever items I like. So even though the amount of gil I have right this second is a bit low, it's just because I have got hundreds and hundreds of items in my bags which I can use, and if I decide to sell them, then it means I could make probably even more money than I had. And one thing I have been doing as well, that pretty much every item I make, not all of them but most of them, I've been throwing them onto the market board to see what it's like, and I have been making a very generous profit doing that as well. And the good thing is that between each retainer you can sell 20 items on each one, which means you can have up to 40 items on sale at any one time, which again is a very good thing. And the way the market board interface is that when you want to put an item on sale, you can immediately click a button and view the price history and current prices of that item straight away without having to look it up. So you don't have to spend the time looking up the item first, seeing the price, and then putting it for sale. Nothing like that. You just put the item on sale, see what the price is, and then adjust accordingly. So it's very, very fast to throw things onto the market board. So I would recommend that. And one thing I noticed as well with the professions is that the vendors in each guild will sell you most of the items you need, but not all of them. But if you go to the other guild vendors, then you will find the items that were missing from the one you needed. And it is just to motivate you so you're not lazy. So for example, a very simple example, if you're at the, say, the blacksmith vendor, then that vendor might sell you, for example, iron ore, but it will not sell you iron bars. So you are motivated then to craft the bars yourself. But if you go to another vendor, for example randomly like the alchemist one, then you will actually find the iron bars already on there. And the items are very, very cheap, at least for the low level. So you can pretty much vendor your way to level, I think it's roughly 20, 25, something like that, at which point you will then need either to buy from other players on the market board or just get it yourself using crafters of the disciples of the land. So, but if you can, it's really not expensive basically to get all the way to level 25 in every profession using the vendors, and I would actually recommend it because it's always cheaper buying from a vendor than it is buying from the market board, that's for sure, because people are on the market board at the end of the day to make a profit. So it's always a good idea to look around, shop around from the vendors, look online, see if you can find any listed item, and also look through all the vendors in the marketplace, because you might find things are on sale there as well, because every town has got every city I should say, so Uldar, Limsa Lominsa and Gridania all have a market area which has got tons of NPCs who will sell items, so it's worth looking through them all to see if there's any items you need. And one thing which is a good idea, let's say if I was going to be crafting through levels 1 to 5 of carpentry, for example, like, so I'm looking at it right now, a good idea is simply to look through the requirements of each item. So here, so I need 3 maple logs for this one, 1 maple lumber, hape and yarn. So you can see which items are needed over and over again, so you make sure you get stocks of those items. And see, bronze ingot, ragstone, and so on. So you go through, let's say 5 levels worth, and then you just gather those materials only, and then you use them however you need. So for example, if I look in my bags right now, if we go to this bag here, these are the materials I was working on just before for my carpentry. So I'm at this level here, this 16 to 20. So I noticed I needed lots of elm lumber, ash branch, and so on. So that's why I've gathered those items in my bag here. So I have enough for these next 5 levels, which is good. So I need to return. Almost there. And still, even until now, even though this is like the, I don't know, maybe 35th, 36th episode, I am still conscious of my money. So even though it might look like I've been spending money, I haven't spent that much. To go from 100,000 down to 77, with the huge amount of gain I've received with all my professions up to 15 to 20 and bags full of items, I really haven't lost money at all. So okay, let's go in here. Uh-oh. So something bad has happened here. There's a lot of people who have been attacked. There's dead bodies everywhere. So I guess they've attacked the Waking Sands. Wow, this place looks grim. I wonder who did it. It's nice that they have these sort of instanced zones, so, you know, depending what part of the story will affect what you see. Oh no. Where is she? Is Mithrie here? Mithrie's not here, so... But poor little Neuroxia, hope he's okay. Well, he's still alive. So she will now witness, I believe, an echo, which is a view of the past. It's an ability that the Warriors of Light have.
Much to discuss. Godspeed.
And obviously this is when she was calling me just now.
Thank heaven she is safe. Louisoire, do you see? Your light shines brightly in this one, and in time it will illuminate the realm once more. Oh!
Leave the Galia.
We have come for the one who slayed Ifrit and Titan. Bring her forth, and you may yet know mercy.
Confound it. Stay out of sight. I would leave a message with you. I surrender myself on the condition you spare the innocents.
Condition. There speaks the supreme desire. I'll grant you her courage, but you would be better served by honor.
Search all you will. The one you seek is not here.
So it would seem.
And yet you knew to look here. But how?
Hold that thought.
That's a bit mean, isn't it?
No!
I mean, the Sylphs are not going to be happy about that, are they?
Conditions of surrender. Denied.
Cease at once!
Have you not done enough?
Perhaps. Enough. We must away. Though we have not found our quarry, the High Priestess of the Scions should suffice for now. They say she also possesses the Echo. I cannot wait to hear her scream. I said enough! We leave. Bring the prisoners.
Oh, that's sad. So now we must go to the church of Saint Adama Landama near Camp Drybone. So let's go. You can see my teleport list is getting longer and longer and longer. When I get back to Ul'dah, I'll need the Gate of Null. That should save me some time. The thing I love about this game is the feeling that everything you do is worth the time. You know, everything will have an advantage later on. So for example, you know, by me leveling all my professions to 15 to 20, it means that I now have the ability to repair all my gear to a certain point. I'll obviously require a higher level to repair higher level gear, but it's a good start at least. And one of the good things when it comes to repairing gear is that you do actually get experience points for doing it. So it's not only a potential saving money-wise, it's also the fact it can give you experience points for doing it anyway. So So if you start getting requests from other players saying please repair this gear, please repair that gear, it would actually serve both of you and not just one side. One thing I noticed as well when I was looking through the achievements is how to get the ultimate weapon. Well, it's not really the ultimate, it's one of, say, a very good weapon of each profession. So if we quickly look at the achievements, so we're looking here at carpentry, for example. So you have these achievements here, so going with the grain amateur, so I've done that so far, which means I have successfully synthesized 50 times level 1 to 10. And then you have different ones for each of the levels, so from 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, and different numbers of each. So for example, you can see here, by the time you've done the 41 to 51, it requires you to have crafted 3,000 recipes at that level. But once you've finished all 5 of those, then you get this weapon here. So you see, the Saw of Lumery, whatever you call it, and there is an equivalent one of these for every single profession, so and so on. So that's blacksmith and armor smith and so on. So there is an equivalent. Now they're not necessarily the absolute best crafting item you can get in the game. However, from what I was told at this point is that you do need those items before you can think about getting the ultimate one. I don't know what the ultimate one is, I have no idea how you get it, but it's a good start, and you know, hopefully it won't take that long to actually achieve, because it's just a case of craft a lot. There's nothing special about it, there isn't any fights or any weirdness to it, so as time passes you will craft that many anyway, so. And obviously the better the crafting item is, the better results you get, and the quicker you can craft, the higher quality it will be, and so on. So crafting is definitely fun in this game, definitely. So one thing I haven't really explored at this point much is the Disciples of the Land, which is botany, mining and fishing. So I hope to make an episode soon where I explore that and start leveling them up. So at the moment I've got levels 8 miner, 12 botany, 3 fisher, but that's sort of almost left behind from 1.0, so I really need to take a good look at it again and see how it works. I will probably start doing it once I have every one of the Disciples of the Hands to level 20 to 25, because at which point I will need them, otherwise I'll be just become very poor trying to buy everything off the market board. We're now almost there. And guys, if you have any feedback, suggestions, comments for the videos, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I do reply to them, I do read them and so on. I do appreciate them. So, and this Let's Play series, there's nothing really gained about it. It's just my experience through the game. It's almost, I can say, mostly for me, because I want to be able to look back at these moments and enjoy them in the future. But if you do enjoy them and you would like to see more of them and so on, then just please let me know. Okay, so now we're talking to a person called Ilu. So, forgive me, Father, I have sinned. No, I haven't sinned. Curse my enemies, Father. Call down divine vengeance upon those who butchered my friends. It's not nice to ask for people to be hurt. The wild roses are dead, Father, and I know not what to do. That seems like the most appropriate response. I see you may speak freely here. We are all friends of the Scions. Cool. No, it's important that you only ever ask for good things or plead ignorance. It's never good to ask for bad things. And that applies in life, not just in game. Okay, so we've now just got this achievement, those who wait. So let's take a look. You can always click on the latest 5 and then just click on it again to see exactly which category it's in. So, okay, so we're now at this point, all good things. So, let's see. So it seems, if this is an indication of time and length, it seems we're about halfway through the story at this point. So, let's see. But we'll get to that another time. Moving on, next quest. So, the AQ carry cannot have escaped Father Elu's sharp eyes, yet he makes no note of it. And I'll quickly check ahead of time which items would be an advantage to me. So, Mithril Spectacle. Yeah, maybe I'll use those because I don't really have anything high level for caster. So death begets death, especially in those places where privation is sovereign. A course left unburied is as rich field to... I don't understand what he's talking about, so let's move on. I'll let you read it and make up your own mind. Okay, so there seems to be 3 quests in this area at once for the storyline, so let's accept all of them. So Marquis has a personal request to make of you. Okay, so he needs some stuff from me from Uldar. Okay, next quest. So, a Durard, or Eduard rather than Edward, appears to be toying with a defective device of some sort. Okay, well, so there's even more quests here. How about that? What I can do for you? Okay. Ah, okay, so the boy gave it to me to give to Marquis. Bronze ornamental hammer, might already have one. Probably do. I will just need to remember to replace it. I tell you what now, I'll go buy another one, just so I don't prevent myself doing goldsmithing later. So there are other quests in this area, but I will do those after the Let's Play filming. I honestly have no idea how long it's going to be before the next dungeon. I don't know if it's going to be hours of questing or not, so I will try and put a cap on how long each video is. See, I'm not sure who would sell the... That's not that one. Let's look for the next one. Okay, purchase tools, I believe. And what he needed was a... What did he want? A bronze ornamental hammer. Here we go, right at the top. I'll buy that. Just so I don't, you know, spend all of my own money on it. Not my own money, as in, just so I don't lose the one which I already had. There, and here I need to go back to Uldar, so I'll quickly turn in this hammer and then I'll go off to the other places. It's important to know that when you're doing the story quest to make sure that you do all of the quests which have the meteor symbol, because if you just do one and you think, oh, why isn't he giving me another one, then that is the reason why. So, because you have to do them all, not just one, if you want to carry on the story. So let me see, are any of these an advantage to me? Heavy steel armor, I wonder. Yeah, might as well. Okay, so we'll go to Central Fanalan, then to Uldar, and then back here to get the other two quests done. So, it seems that they have done, it has improved, you know, your ability to log into the game compared to before. There are still some instances where you might get a 1017, especially during the peak of, you know, the Japanese time, given that we're on a Japanese server. But as soon as it gets to after midnight Japanese time, then the server really starts to free up, this being Masamune server. So I would say don't worry about it, because this is probably one of the busy servers and we're still able to log in fine, so they obviously did a good job on that. So as I said, when the story's finished, I will be kind of sad, but at the same time, it has been a really wonderful experience so far, and I know, because the good thing about MMOs is that even though you might finish the story at this point, they will always add more, they will always patch in more, they will release expansion packs and so on, so the story won't ever end. It will just be a case of for now, you just focus on other things until the new content is ready. But the game is that awesome that if I'm not playing this game, I'm literally not playing anything else. It's just, it doesn't feel like anything else is worth playing right now. If I'm not playing games, then I'll just be watching films mostly, or maybe reading a book. We're giving these repellent to Zazawaka. So we now need to sprinkle the repellent onto the destinations. So we can do it one of two ways. One way is to click on it, left click, and then click on the item next to the quest name. The other way to do it is to right click the destination and then use the item yourself. It's down to your own preference which one you would want to do. So I'm hoping after I get Bard to level 50 that next I will do White Mage, and my Conjurer right now is level 26, which means I only need 4 levels, and then I can get White Mage unlocked, and then get my Unicorn mount as well, which is something I'm really looking forward to. Okay, so that part is done, so now straight back to Ul'dah. Again, I'm always avoiding using the teleport because you might teleport to there and then back from there and then to there. Before you know, you spent hundreds and hundreds of gil, which you just didn't need to spend. So it's not necessarily about the one-off journey, it's the fact that when you're questing, you will have to go back and forth a lot, which will make the amount of money you spend multiply. Very dark, very gloomy, but then again it is the middle of the night, so in the game at least. Okay, so it seems like we need to go to the goldsmithing guild. And I can use the Aethernet shard to get straight there. So I don't need to talk to the guild master, you talk to this person up here, Mimi Disu. Okay, now straight back to the market for the other item, the pair of needle nose pincers. Almost to level 37, which is nice. Once we get to level 40 plus, then things will start feeling really interesting. And it really doesn't take long to level in this game, as you can see, because at this point, since the game released, we haven't even started paying for the game yet, so... Okay, so I got my needle nose pincers. Just a note, so if you see where we are on the map, we're in the market area in the Steppes of Fall. So this NPC here, Sebald, is the person you talk to get the quest to open up Cutter's Cry. So I won't do that now, I'll do it in another episode, but he is the person you talk to, and I believe he unlocks once you get to level 36. And Cutter's Cry is one of the optional dungeons between Titan and the next dungeon. And as in the last episode, as they mentioned, the other one is Sunken Temple. So I still need to find out where it is and so on. Hopefully I will make an episode for each one, just so we can see what it's like, what monsters are there and so on. Usually in the optional dungeons you have the monsters you need for your Grand Company hunter log, so let me take a look. Let's see if that's the case. So here you go, look, Sunken Temple, I need Temple B, Sunken Temple, and yeah, so it is in the optional dungeons where you will get the Grand Company hunter targets. So for example, Halatali, which is something you can unlock I think at level 20 or 21 optional dungeon, that is also, that's the first time you do get rewards. So you see here, Halatali, Eastern Vanillland Halatali. So it requires you to kill monsters and then you get seals as a reward. And just so you know, you do have to finish the various ranks of the hunter log for the Grand Company when you're trying to rank up, because eventually you'll get to the next promotion and it will say to you, you cannot finish this promotion until you finish rank 1 of the hunter log. So it's a good idea to always do it when you're there. So anytime you see the monsters with the appropriate symbol above their head, it's better to just get it done. So it's nice that I have my own mount. I don't have to pay for Chocobo Porters anymore. If I'm honest with you, I still do use them sometimes if I am lazy, if I want to go get a snack while I'm getting somewhere, but really not that often. And I say the good thing about this game is you don't need a user guide, you don't need anything. It's all in the game, it's all built into the interface with the map system and so on, so I am merely sharing the experience of playing the game. I'm not exactly telling you what to do or how to do it. Or at least I'm trying not to. Because as you can see, like even when I'm playing the game, this is all the first time I'm ever doing it, so I'm just working it out exactly at the moment I'm doing it as well. And when I'm doing the story quest, I do try to keep my quest log clear, so that I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so here are the tools he asked for. I apologise for the jitteriness of my computer. It's probably just because of the virus scanner, which is set to go off every Sunday. So we will give this, what's it called, Horror Lodge to the kid. Or maybe not to the kid, maybe to this person. So, Ilsum would like to offer succor to the priests at the Church of Saint Adama Landama. So it says search for a Sabotender de Soul in Drybone. So we'll just quickly go do that. The next time I talk to the priest, I want to have finished every of the other quests, I should call them. Because these are like side quests with a story, it feels like. There we go. I wonder if he's going to do anything like 1,000. There you go. Famous needles move that they do in all of the previous Final Fantasy game. 1,000 needles, exactly what I said. Very important to stay out of it because it will just kill you. Okay, done. In other Final Fantasy games, if you were hit by 1,000 needles, it would basically hit you 1,000 times for 1 damage, which of course means 1,000 damage. So the arm of a Sabotender de Soul, the fleshy interior holds a surprising amount of fresh, drinkable water. So the first batch goes to Marquis. So let's talk to him now. Oh, whoops. I selected the wrong target. Never mind. So I don't really need either of these, do I? Oh yeah, I said I'll go for the headpiece. Oh, ironically it seems I was meant to be talking to Marquis last anyway. So it's always important to look on the map to see where the next quest is. See, it spawns straight outside. Oh, so I think that would be a good upgrade. So, yeah, I'll get the leg piece. A good 5 levels higher than what I've got. So it says, speak with the merchant outside the Waking Sands. So we need to go straight back to Vesper Bay, so let's go. I guess I'll run straight to the Western Fanalan. Oh, so one thing I've seen actually on YouTube is how it can allow you to do automatic subtitling for the videos, and it can be somewhat accurate, but there can also be a huge amount of mistakes. So I will be going through each one to make sure that all the mistakes are corrected. So I apologise if anyone's been trying to use the captions only to find that they're displaying as junk. So I will be spending the time soon to fix them all. Especially for my earlier videos, because I know there was audio problems in the earlier ones. So if I add captions, then at least you'll be able to read what I was trying to say. And another good feature of that is the fact that if you don't speak English, then you can automatically translate whatever is typed into the caption and follow what's going on. And also it's adequate for people who are unable to hear, so it caters for them as well. So there is many reasons for me to do it, so I will be spending the time. I want everyone to be able to enjoy my videos as much as possible. And if you enjoy the game, if you do play the game and so on, then, you know, this is just my adventure through it. You will have your own adventure through the game as well. It won't be the same as mine, you just do it whichever way you think is the most enjoyable. But at least I can offer the story, because that will be the thing which is consistent between everyone's adventure. DW member, hello, hello. I feel that I'm somewhat left behind at the moment from the DW members, only because they were able to go through the story very quickly, whereas I spent a lot of time doing other things, sort of thing. But then again, DW, as you know, played a lot in 1.0, whereas I didn't play in 1.0 at all, so I'm just playing catch up at the moment. And I really can't wait to start doing the Relic Reborn. I know I've been saying it since day one, but I really can't wait, because we have lots of people in the Distant World who want to get their relic weapons done, and lots of people on the server basically, so we will have plenty of people to party with. Funny enough, it actually starts in Vesper Bay, Relic Reborn, but we'll get to that. Okay, so we need to clear the bodies which have been left behind. It's not a nice job, but someone has to do it. So the speed at which you pick them up is relevant to the size of the body, which is, I guess it's realistic. So here we go. So this carriage is what's going to take the bodies. Yeah, he does make a good point that I was able to hold a Rogadin, 2 Elzen and a Lalafell all in one go. Mithrie's got some real muscle, it seems. Very, very sad, this job. But when you're in a war, people die. It's a sad truth of it. Extremely sad to pick up a fallen sylph, that's for sure. So take a moment for Neuroxia. She has a separate piece. So the Sylph's peaceful expression belies the fact that she no longer lives. Very sad. If it was up to me, I would take Neurox back to the Sylph lands myself. Okay, so we need to go straight back to Eastern Panaland. And this is a good example of the back and forth idea, that if I had teleported back and forth the whole time, then I might have spent a lot more money than I needed to. Just a thing for the people watching, if you ever have a day where you're trying to play the game and you just can't find anything to do, like you don't know what to do, you can't be bothered to do a dungeon, you're not motivated to craft, you don't want to do anything, then just log out, you know. Big real world out there that you can enjoy. You should only be doing this for fun, you should never be doing it out of habit or obligation. I'm loving every moment, but I know it's not the same for everyone. Some people use this game for absolute escapism from their real world, but I would recommend that you do try and put the real world on as your number one. And this is me talking after 14 years experience of playing online. Sometimes you might feel that there's nothing in life that's worth doing compared to playing online, but believe me, there really is. You just have to find it. So as before, go to Central Panaland and then to Eastern Panaland. This person here is mining, which is something I do need to get into soon. I don't know if I'll ever rival the great Pico Man, who is one of the founders of Distant World, because he is a profession master, but we will see. Never know. And be pleasure to help the other members of Distant World with their professions, with advice, or later on when I'm high level of everything, just crafting for them. One thing I was advised of is that once you get into the 40s and you're doing the storyline, you might hit a lot of dead ends in terms of, you might do a couple of quests and then it say, okay, need level 43, and then do a couple more quests and said, okay, need level 44, and so on. So I will try, if I can, ahead of time to see when that will happen and make sure that I'm ready, just so the episodes don't end up being 5 minutes long. But there'll always be plenty to do, because once I hit level, I believe it might be 44, but maybe 45, I'll be able to start gathering my artifact gear for Bard, which I really can't wait for. I really want her to look like the picture that I already put up on my YouTube channel. So I put that picture there as a goal, like this is what I want her to be. So this is what one of the things I've been working towards this whole time. Okay, so now back with Illumined. So basically all the bodies that I helped to move are going to be buried here. As always, new piece of equipment, so wear it, update your gear set straight away. So Sister Illumined has some difficult news to share with you. Oh, so it seems they can't give them their own burial spots. They have to let them share graves. So she's given you advice is that to offer a prayer to Izuma. So Izuma is just, I believe, is one of the 12. So we will go there. We will just see what we have to say and see what happens. It's not a religious thing, you know. I don't want anyone to be worried about things like that. It's just a game. It's just a way of finding peace for the fact that a lot of people have just been killed. I would say it's one of the more mellow parts of the storyline. There's no celebration, there's no well done, you've done this. It's simply a case of, you know, war is painful, so we have to remember that. The place just looks absolutely stunning. And something to note, you probably might not be able to tell on the YouTube video, but this is not actually even the highest setting. This is the lowest graphical setting. It's just very high resolution. So I could make the graphics higher, but then we would have a very jittery let's play. So. Oh, so you can see one of the items I put for sale just sold. You get notifications like that when your items sell. So, as you kneel before the mark of the Warden in a moment of quiet solitude, you breathe deep of the dry desert air. The roar of the rushing waters is punctuated by the faint chirping of the Velkin and the shrill cries of a hawk. The gods, however, remain silent. Okay, so we showed our respects, so we now go back to Illumined and see what we can do next. So, Sister Elude wishes to discuss one of the scions who perished at the Waking Sound. Absolutely. Exactly as I said, is that Naraxia belongs with her people, she doesn't belong here. So we can go straight back to Gridania and take her straight there. It's nice that they recognise that in the game. Because she came as effectively an ambassador of her people to help you out, so she deserves to be returned home. And as we remember, the little solace is in the East Shroud. Hello DW number. It does feel like the server's getting busier and busier, that's for sure. The little solace is over here. Not really anything to say at this point. It's just so sad. Okay, so we've done the right thing by bringing her back. Okay. So I think we'll end the episode right there, and then we will continue next time. So thank you for watching, guys. Very sad episode, but thank you for if you watched it all the way through, and I'll see you next time.